Right, it's that time of year and I'm in my dressing gown, so that means obviously I'm in the garden and I don't give a hoot, yeah? So, but it's that time of year to start stripping rods back, cleaning up and relining it up and everything. So, I'm going to show you how I do it. And it's a good time to obviously clean your rods down, your reels and stuff like that. I'm not servicing them, I'm just going to clean them up like. But yeah, I'm going to basically show you how to do it. So you can see your drill, I've already done one. And then I'll repeat the process, obviously putting the line back on, but I'm going to do it a slightly different way because I bought a little gadget, yeah, one of these things, yeah, it's what you put your line in if you've not seen one, and it's meant to spin. Now, is it going to work with a 14,000 reel? Well, I don't know, because obviously the reels could be very close to the spool. The mod's on for like spinning reels, so I thought I'd give it a go. If it works, it works. If it don't work, then it's going to go in the bin. Yeah. So right, let's strip another spool off, and I'll show you how I do it, and go from there. Yeah. Here you go, look. So I took the cap off, I've took the spool out, and look how much dirt is in it. Yeah, it is absolutely everywhere, even in the back half of it. So anyway, yeah, let's get this line ripped off. I'm also going to try changing the spool spacers as well, and put a 3,500 on because I can't remember what is on me. Took one off. I've actually got a 6,000 on that one. So I'm thinking, obviously I'll take it off and have a look, and you'll see a nice little trick there. Yeah, instead of having a knot, put it on with some tape. But there is another way of doing this. You can actually put the tie it directly onto the spool, then put this on over the top, and then the knot is underneath it, so it's not going to mess around with your line light. But I don't like to have it directly attached to that, just in case, yeah, something happens to me or something like that, and then obviously I'm passed out, fell out or whatever, yeah, not through alcohol or anything, but if that is knotted to the spool and I get a take, it's got to take a lot of line off there, but it's going to drag the rod in, so taping it doesn't, yeah, it's going to get to the end of that line and it's just going to literally ping off. Yeah, chances of it happening is very little, but I like to look at it worst case scenario. So anyway, let's get this line off of there so you can see how much has got to come off. It's quite a bit. All I do is get a nice little toilet roll, yeah, bit of paper still on it, yeah, and take that to the drill, and that is it. Yeah, so I'll lay this facing down on the floor, well, facing up should I say, so the cap would be on the top. That goes on. I wrap it around a few times, see which way the drill's going, that way. So I wrap it around a couple of times first, just so it's got some tension to go. There we are. And then, just keep going there. It's so nice in the dressing gown. This goes to show how many twists I've actually got in the line through basically setting the clutch loose, winding it back, just to get the bloody everything straight while it's on the pod. Yeah, it's probably the worst thing going, because the amount of kinks what I've got in that line is absolutely unreal. So I should stop doing it. Now, to be fair, the line's not been changed for a few years. You can see, even though I took a lot off there, you want to see how much damage there actually is to the line. Yeah, you run your fingers through it and you can just feel how notchy it is, so it's definitely due a replacement. Gonna be getting close. Not a very fast drill, this one. In theory, what it should do is when it gets to the end, it should just ping off. Instead of the spool flying right up in the air. There we are, there's the tape. So he's messing about with a knot. So that's all the spacers in there rattling around. Yeah, so I'll inspect them, take all them apart, obviously give them a clean up as well. Clean the spool, clean the reel, clean the rod before relining up. Right, so now I'm back in the comforts of my home and away from all the noisy neighbours because the next door's actually moving out, so he's knocking shed down, so obviously it's a little bit bang 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 out there. So it's now a matter of the clean up process. So the lines are all off, yeah, so my rods are lineless completely, and it's a matter of cleaning up. Now cleaning up will do a few things for you. Obviously it's looking after your equipment, so it's going to make it last longer. This thing, what I'm going to do next, is also going to improve your casting. Now bear in mind I've got a bait motor now, so obviously I'll use the boat where I can, that, but it does actually make it a hell of a lot better casting, and you will notice a lot of yards difference. Now what you want, and I use this for cleaning everything, yeah, I used to use it on the bikes, and it does an absolute bro job. So it does mean a little bit of polishing, yeah. So but GT85, that's the stuff. You got PTFE in there. Obviously don't get it on your line, for Christ's sake. Once you've done your rings and stuff like that, obviously you're going to make sure you give it a good clean, but it will not affect the carbon. Some people might say that it will, but trust me, I've used this for years on push bikes, got carbon fibre, aluminium, steel, literally everything. So it's going to do the rods, and I've done it on my rods for absolute years, and I've never had a rod explode on me or obviously go wrong. Yeah, so it is perfectly safe to use with rods, yeah, because most carbon fibres have got some type of coating on there anyway. Now when you're doing it, you're going to use a nice rag. Yeah, I use microfiber rags and that, because it gets right into there and that lot. So you're going to literally spray some onto the rag itself. Yeah, not loads, just a little bit. And because now I'm in the house, it is a little bit awkward. I'm just going to literally run up and down on the blank. Now these are the Nash Toros. I'm going to spin it at the same time. So up and down on the blank, get that nice glossy finish on there. It will take any dirt off. Now I do look after these anyway, to be fair, but I won't say that I wipe them down and do all that sort of stuff every time round. Yeah, I'll just do it as and when it needs to, and then normally let the weathers do that. So I'm going to swap the rod round. I'm not looking after the rod as it's snapping it into the tripod. Yeah, I'm going to go up and down onto the blank itself, a bit further up. Now I don't need to be putting any more the GT85 actually yet onto the cloth, because I've still got more than enough, and I know that because I'm getting a nice shine from it. Now what I like to do now is actually go right into the rings, yeah, get right in there. Now these are, nothing misses this glass there, these are the Minica rings, so it's a little bit easier getting in there, but I am literally getting right into it. And if you've got the ceramic ones as well, do the same. Yeah, because you'll be surprised how much dirt gathers up in here and it slows down your cast. Yeah, but when you do this, it's cleaning them out, and you're getting that tiny bit of lubricant on there as well, and that's what really improves your cast. Yeah, so go with the next ring. Obviously I've got to do the bottom half of the blank as well, sort of real section 1, so I'll get that in there. You probably don't see many people showing you videos like this, but it's just basic care really. Yeah, keep your stuff clean, look after it, it will last you well. I don't know how long I've had these rods now, to be honest with you. I did think about changing them and something a bit newer, yeah, keep up with the Joneses basically, but they're really good rods, and it's like, why change what I don't need to change? Yeah, so I'm getting right in there now. If I can show you, you can't really see it, but there is literally dirt and grit and sand and whatever all in there. So that's the bottom one. Right, now what I do, swap the rag over, and now I'm going to buff it off. So I'll go do the blank first. Just literally keep going with it. Just give it a nice good buffing. Take that greasy feel off there, like. So the rings itself, I'd rather keep it there for now. It does evaporate as well. So what you don't get off, it will come off on its own. But I just don't want no smeary marks on them. And these literally do now feel brand new. Just from a bit of that. Alright, so missed a bit on that back end of the ring, so get into that. So it's a bit of a combo this for you. Rods and rings. Rods and reels, shall I say. Yeah, rag. Give that a real good going. Now the only thing is with these miniature rings, they do have a tendency of bending actually in your rod pipe because they're so bloody thin. So I can check all that lot out as well. Normally the one on the butt section. But that piece is done and I'm happy with that. Yeah. You'll be surprised how smooth that actually feels in there now. So that's that one done. So we'll lean that one up out of the way. We can unscrew the rod reel now. Oh, the grit what's in there. So I might need a brush in that. So if you're using a brush, just get a toothbrush. Now I've had a look and the only one I've got is the one what I use on my teeth. So yeah. Alright, so take the reel off. And then repeat the process on here. So I'm going to put a bit more spray on now. This is the one that gets all the hammer. Obviously picking it with all fish juices and onion, oils, literally you name it, whatever you grab, you're grabbing your rod with it. And yeah, it's getting a beating. Just make sure I get the back section. Screw these up as far as I can. And then I can get into these threads as well. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. So you can see obviously the dirt on the Alps. ALPS, however you want to say it. So what we'll do now is screw that one back up. These have got a double lock ring on these. Go too far, it's not a drama, and just slide down that. Oh, yeah, look at the. You might not be able to see the dirt, but I can, and it's coming off. Very grippy that. Bit more. Let's get that right in there. So I've got grooves. Take it out of them. I can't remember last time I did them actually, to be honest with you. Right, the rest of the blank out. Oh, that dirt up here. Mud, grit, everything. And into the ring. And literally get right in it. Right, so swap the sides over, buff it back off. Good thing is what I like using about a light coloured rag, you can see how much dirt you're actually getting off from it. Yeah, when you're using a dark one, you obviously can't see that, but this is looking cock on. Yeah, it's still a bit wet in places. Look at that, just for the rod. Yeah, just the rod itself. It's got a really nice sheen to it now. Literally, as I said earlier, it looks like it's come straight out of the factory. Yeah, not out of the shop where it gathers dust, it looks like it's come straight from the factory. So now, it's the real part. I've never surfaced these, literally all I've done is just what I'm doing now. So, first things first, get the spool off. Yeah. Get the cap off. And then I will be getting in there, checking obviously all the things. So I've got my screwdriver as well. I don't believe I need to, like, but just in case I do. So we'll get right into them grooves, what you can't normally do because of your line. You don't want to be putting obviously oil on there with your line. So, right, I'll fast forward you on a little bit as well. I'll come back to you. Right, so I've done one of the worst parts, which is actually the clutch cap. Yeah, they're a nightmare to do because you've got so many little grooves and stuff in there. And where it's awkward, if you get yourself a flat blade screwdriver, just a small one, and you can get right across the lines and grooves and stuff like that in with this, where obviously you can't with the actual thingy, just pushing it in. Yeah, so that is actually working a treat. Yeah, and it's not scratching it, I'm not putting too much force on, but that is done. Yeah, 'cause you'll be surprised at how much dirt that gathers. Now, I don't go using splash mats, so literally, as it rains, it's splashing right up all over my reels and stuff like that. So, yeah, now there's two ways I can do this. You can see how long it is. I've got so much dirt just on the neck. Yeah, grit and also it is gathered bloody everywhere. Now, like I say, I've never surfaced these reels. I've never done it weird, but inside there, it all looks pretty clean. So, yeah, so what we'll do, we'll tighten up the arm just to stop it flopping all over the place. My bail arms over the time I've got bent, just from the rod bag and stuff like that. So, but they still work, so I'm not going to be changing anything what's not working. Now, I don't go spraying it directly on, but you can, if you can work it out, all the grit, look, it's absolutely everywhere. Now, in a moment, just through doing what I'm doing, spraying onto the rag, wiping the rag over it and stuff like that, you're going to notice a big difference. So you've seen what it was like a minute ago, so I'm going to clean it, spraying onto the rag, wipe it all over, and look at the difference in a minute. Right, so, yeah, look at that. Looks brand new again. Yeah. So we don't want that on yet because we're going to put these little spool things on. Now I've already got it off from that one, so let's have a look. So 3,500, which is there. Now the difference is with the 3,500 to the one what I had on, which was the 6,000. These are a little bit bigger, so it's going to obviously take up more room on the actual spool itself, and which equals to less line going on. So in theory, I've got two of these anyway. Yeah, I got them for 14 quid, Nash Bullet. Yeah, I used it last time, and to be honest with it, it was a good line. Yeah, I've never really had any issues with it, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to put these caps on like this. The spool reducers. Just make sure they are lined up. Click them together so it's in that side. This is where you probably need a tool to get it. Right, so after much argument and many swear words trying to get the spool spacer onto the spool, it's now on. Yeah, so it's a matter of case I'm going to start and get the line onto it all now. Just make sure the cap is straight. Yeah. Crank that down tight. There we are. Right, so let's feed this onto here. We're going to give it a test for the very first time. It might work, it might not. Feels weird, really weird, because there's like nothing here for a rod light. So, but that's winding. Yeah, so it's a matter of case, get the line into there now. However that works. Let's have a look. I've loosened it off on so it's got the spin. But I've never used one before, so this is the first time for me. I'll get that into there. I'm going to put an hole in that actually, just so that I can sit in there a bit tighter. Tighten it down a bit, so it's a bit tighter. So I'm guessing that is a tension one. So it's still got the spin. So that is tension, but I'm thinking that is very close to the reel. Very close. So we'll give it a go anyway. So what I'm going to do, get some tape. Tape that onto my spool. Doesn't matter what tape it is, sellotape, whatever, masking tape, doesn't matter. And get an end of it. There we go. Let's get the line. I like to put the line into the middle of the tape. Like so. That's going to go onto there now. Wind that one back up again. Close the bail on. So the first couple of wraps are going to be guiding it anyway. Because of the tape, it will try coming undone. Put the tape on the wrong way around like a plonk. Swap that over. There we go. Because all this contraption is in my way, but we'll go have a look now, see what it's actually like. I need to try and get a couple of turns on there, just so it holds that tape in place. There we go. Alright, so that's that in line. How's that gone up there like that? I don't bloody know, but let's undo this if I can, get that line past that. There we are. Let's have a look. Alright. So now, I hold it as normal, and I wind it. It's meant to eliminate twists. So as the line's twisting, the thing should turn on it. Now is this as easy as holding the rod with a bucket of water? Bear in mind it's going on dry as well. Yeah, so it's what some of you are probably thinking straight away. soon find out. Weird. Let's have a little feel. Definitely feels tight, and the line lay is not quite as good as what I'd like it, but after a few casts out there, that's going to sort itself out anyway. Getting really tight now. Let's make sure we're not tangled up anyway, which we're not. Oh. Not very tight. There we go. Alright, it's loosened off now. Like violin tight. Would I recommend it for a plastic spool? Probably not. Yeah, for a metal spool, yeah, it should be fine. Oh God, aches your arm. Just having a look at the marker. So I've got 250 metres on there up to now with the spool reducer. Right. Yeah, there's no way you can get tension on a line yourself by running it through your fingers that tight. Very, very tight. And that line is not peeling at all. Come on, baby, crank up. Oh, what's going on here? It slipped off the spool. Oh, I see why it's got tight. It's actually sent the ball in there. Now, there is another piece actually in the packet. I've not put that in. I bet that's what that is for. That's why it's gone tight. Because I'm guessing that goes through the spool. Alright, put that in. And what's happened here, the ball has gone into the actual spool itself. It still works, so keep going on. Oh, coming off again. It's not much more now anyway. It's not straight. Right, so that will do. Right, so we'll get that off of there. Like that. So the spool. We'll open the bail arm and go see if it pings itself off. And no, it doesn't. But it does come off easily, but it's not taking its normal coils like they generally do. So I'm quite happy with the way that's done that. I'll just put a couple on there like that. Back to turn it. Jobs are good, and put that in the clip. recommend it. It seems like it's done a decent job, so it's up to you, isn't it? And that's it. So a nice brown line gone on. Job's a good one. No, not serviced. That's my upgraded bearing in the handle. Oh, yeah. That's it. That's how I clean it. So it's just a matter of case putting it back together, lace it up, get obviously the rigs and everything. Well, not the rigs, but get everything ready so it's ready for casting. Job's a good one. So that's how I do it, with a slight little difference of whatever it's called. Made in China, yeah, that's what it says on it. I did actually get it from Temu. I think it set me back about 15, 16 quid, something like that. And to be honest with you, yeah, line spooler, yeah. So if you just type in that, jobs are good, and you got all the instructions on there and that lot. Obviously, I didn't read it. I just literally put it on and just did what I thought. And I've got 250 meters on there, over probably. Yeah, so that's £1,000 spool, and I'm right to the line, so it is literally bang on 250 meters. If you can see, there it is, and the line is there, so that is absolutely cock on that. So yeah, 250 on that, 250 on the next one, 250 on that. Still got 250 spare. Don't need the other spool. That's how to save money with the line spoolers. And then, like I say, clean your rods up, clean your reels up, make everything work longer, make everything last longer, and also improve your casting and all that sort of stuff as well. So another quick one worth mentioning as well, because I don't know if I did it. So as you're cleaning down your reels itself, don't get your can. Now bear in mind, you can use this, you can use WD-40 as well. I prefer to use this because it's got PTFE in there. It just puts a extra like barrier on it. Now what you don't want to do is to go all over directly from the can. Always do it to the rag, and the main reason why is if you spray it onto the reel from the can, obviously you've got grease inside your actual reel, and what it will do, it will actually degrade it, so then it's not going to be a nice jelly sort of grease. It's going to be like a water, yeah, and you're going to end up wearing all your gear ratio out in your reel very, very quickly if you do it that way. End up with loads of clicks, clacks, and you name it, your reels are just going to bugger up. Yeah, so that's why you don't want to spray it directly on. And that's the same with anything really, what's got grease in there. Don't go spraying it directly on. All you're doing, you're cleaning it down, yeah? You're not surfacing it. If you're surfacing it, you're going to take the whole entire reel apart, take all the body apart, and then you're going to re-grease it with the proper stuff. This is just a clean down, yeah? It's not a service. If I'm going to do a service, I probably could. I've never had to do it because obviously I'll just do this every now and again. And yeah, so like I say, don't spray it directly, just to the rag, and you can see how much dirt comes off, because obviously this was crisp, it was brand new and it's going to go in the bin after, and I'm only on my second one. So yeah, so right, thanks for watching, till the next one, see you then.